Because sometimes I was allowed around Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
She confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
002.
We had retired people.
I sent the email. I don't know.
Okay, I welcome everyone to the April 26, 2022 Board of Education special meeting. Ms. Hageman, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Mansfield,
Here.
Mrs. Sebastian,
Here.
Mr. Elam,
Here.
Mrs. Donahue.
Here.
Reflect Mrs. France is not with us today.
Okay. Do you still have a quorum? Which just means we can move on. Item 2, superintendent's items requesting board action.
Thank you. On the agenda this afternoon for consideration is number 2, letter A, staff laptop purchases. If you folks remember from our last work session, our technology director, Mr. Jason Cook, was in attendance, and similar to what he did for Chromebook purchases for the students, he also provided a summary update in the form of a document, and then also answered some questions from the school board in regards to staff laptop purchases for next year. Talked a little bit about the quote that was
Just
received.
one quick reminder for the football players that the lifting today is right after school. It's out in the weight room. Thank you.
What happens when you have 2:30 board
It
meetings?
is the regular superintendent board meeting, absolutely.
So he talked a little bit about the quotes that he received, and then he also made mention to a degree, kind of the grade levels that we're going to receive new laptops as far as teaching staff, and then the rotation that was going to be put in place as far as the plan moving forward on how long he expects these laptops to last before they go out of cycle. And they still have some value to them so that we could potentially resell them to receive some funds back. I believe that's kind of all that was covered. To be transparent, in the creation of the last board agenda, it was an item that we discussed in the work session. It accidentally got omitted from the agenda. Once we figured that out the next day, we emailed the board to see if we could do a special meeting to make sure, because of a couple of reasons. Number one, as we all know, companies only hold prices for so long. This price was still good, I think, for the end of this month. And then also with schools right in the middle of ordering for the following year, we know the company has the correct number of devices in stock so that we can make sure that we get the allocated number that we need for next year's rotation.
Anything further?
I don't.
Discussion from the board?
I just want to note that, if my memory serves me correctly, Jason said that they would need docking stations and he would come back later in the summer.
Yeah, that's correct. I also believe, and I could be wrong, he's here now, but I don't think that's gonna be an amount that's going to exceed needing board approval. But I could be.
Yeah. Question, Mr. Cook, was the estimated cost of the docking stations that we still
Yes.
need to add to this quote? How much
Yes.
do you think that would be?
I have that number. They're about $150 each times 30. About $3,000, $4,000. So yeah, I've got that ready to be used as well.
And that wouldn't be an amount that would
No.
need to be brought to the board as far as spending, purchasability.
Thank you.
Additional discussion from the board?
The total was how much? I'm sorry.
For the docking stations, I think it's around $3,000 or $4,000.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. They're about $150 each.
I know, I thought you said 150 of them at $3,000 to $4,000.
Sorry.
Yeah, 30 at $150 each with 4,500, so.
Yeah, sure.
That's fine. Yeah. Other questions or concerns from the board? Okay, I mean, I will mention that some of the staff are concerned because obviously change is hard, right? So they're going from having one stationary system that runs basically their projection screen and that they can quickly look things up and then have it projected for students. And then they have another laptop currently that they can have portability, move around their room, or do other things on that they need to do, like attendance, whatever, that they don't want to have visible on the screen. So it's going to be a change to go to one system that you would have, you can make extend as the setting where you can have your projection and do other things on your laptop. I've gone through that change as an educator. It's tricky to remember that you set your settings right and all that. But I asked Mr. Cook about this just one-on-one to say, for those of us who are movers in our classroom and to be able to walk around our room, what can be done for those that now would have a docked laptop where you can't just pick it up and move if it has to be docked to be able to run your projection system. So can you talk about possible solutions for those educators?
We can talk with each one individually that has that specific concern. But we do have a few different options, such as wireless projection, that isn't always as reliable, but it is an option. And if you're one of the teachers that just kind of takes your laptop around the room just to look stuff up real quick, you're not necessarily using it as projection, then we can get you a Chromebook or something, a similar type of device that you can have in your classroom that you can take around the room with you.
That's very cool. That'd be like through a Chromecast device or something like that?
Yeah.
And those Chromecast dongles are about how much?
$30 each.
$30 each or so,
Something
that's
like
not too bad, or additional expense wise for the board's knowledge. I know that I'm not a stay at the front of the room educator. I'm definitely a move around the classroom teacher, and I think some of our instructors are probably the same way. So, that's just something I want the board to kind of think about, education expense wise, but we have Chromebooks that
Yeah.
are kind of sitting there at the moment. that
Yeah.
Old ones or whatever that are still have life, so, okay. I just wanted to address that because I know it is a concern going forward, not from an expense standpoint, but an educator standpoint. So, any other discussion or questions from the board? Are we ready to vote? Yep. Okay. Ms. Hageman, would you call the roll, please? Oh, I need a motion. I'm sorry. That's right. We didn't move before discussion this time. Look at me getting out of order.
That's all
Do
right.
we have a motion for the purchase of laptops for staff per the attached quote? I'll move. Mrs. Sebastian with the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Donahue with the second. Okay. Any further discussion since I got all that out of order? Apologies. I'm all excited. Look at me. I'm trying to get this meeting done. Look at that. Okay, I do think we've covered it pretty thoroughly, though, I think, with our earlier discussion, the work session as well. So, okay, Mrs. Hagan, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Sebastian,
Yes.
Mr. Elam,
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue,
Yes.
Mrs. Mansfield.
Yes. Okay, so the motion carries 4-0. Item number 3 is a potential executive session. I believe that we've had indication of our need for an executive session to discuss compensation of a public employee. Any other needs for our 6, 7 potential items? Okay, and will there be any board action after? No. Okay,
That can't be. This is special.
Correct, cannot be.
oh, that's true. Okay,
It's okay.
so we Is there a motion for executive session?
I'll move.
Mrs. Sebastian moves. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Mr. Elam with the second. Did you want me to call the roll when you have an opportunity?
Sure. Mrs. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Elam,
Yes.
Mrs. Mansfield,
Yes.
Mrs. Sebastian.
Yes.
That motion also carries. We're in executive session at 2:39 PM. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Mr. Cook.
No problem. Thank you.
And Mr. First, Mrs. Hageman, we do not need you.